Ah, the demonic Janemba, a character who's a victim of his own monstrous complexity. Despite an eclectic toolkit and some downright nasty moves, Janemba has never quite broken through into mainstream use in Dragon Ball FighterZ. His downfall, like I said, is his complexity, and in a fighting game with characters like UI Goku and Z Broly, complexity is something players don't necessarily need to invite into their team. However, for those willing to do some work, Janemba can become an absolute powerhouse of a character. No player demonstrates this better than ShaudL, formerly known as HexPro. Shaud is a Janemba lab beast who has come up with more tech for the character than anyone can keep track of. Today, he and I will deep dive into Janemba's kit to discover where the sauce lies. What is up, y'all? KRCPinto here. I'm hanging out with Shaud. Today, we're talking the secret sauce for Janemba. Shaud, who you may know by his old tag HexPro, is a Janemba master. He's been posting that sweet, sweet tech on Twitter for a long time, and we are stoked to have him here today. Shaud, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. How's everything going for you?
It's going great, dude. Really excited to talk to you about this character. I feel like he's someone who was slept on for a while, and now that his tech is getting pushed further, people are starting to notice just what he can do. I feel like you've been at the forefront of that.
Yeah, potentially. I'm one of the bigger players for him. A lot of people say I'm probably top 2 in the world for this character,
which is super badass, especially this character in general just has a really interesting toolkit too, but we'll talk about that as we go. So you ready to hop into it, man?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, man. So first question is low ball. What is your favorite move of Janemba's and why? It can be a special, a normal, a super, whatever you like best.
Between EX Slash and 5H, simply because I think EX Slash is broken, and Orb, so 3-way tie. EX Orb is broken, proven, right? That move does way too much damage and doesn't scale. EX Slash because I feel like a samurai when I hit the full screen. And that move is the crux of my gameplay for a good year, just doing this all day. And, I did really good in tournaments with that. And 5H just because, from here, he's still in 5H range. So having a stationary 5H that doesn't throw me across the screen but reaches here is insane. And so I really like the move, and it's a TOD starter, so it's just fun to hit.
He's out here taking the phrase sword normals literally.
Essentially, yeah.
So now, what's your favorite assist of his and why? I noticed you're running the B assist for this team, which is interesting because his A gets a lot of love.
Okay, so I actually dual main both assists. His B assist is broken, but his A assist gives me things like that. Oh shit, wrong character. Lol. Gives me things like this, full confirms off full screen key boss. It gives me stuff like this.
No way.
If I missed pain. Well, this is the easier one.
That is insane.
Whoa, missed twice.
Yeah, but I can see it happening. I'm sure it's just
I've hit it enough in game. It's one of those things where you can hit it in game but not in trainer mode.
Right.
But he gives Spirit Bomb to Goku. He gives Gohan DR after anything. I made Bardock when I played Janemba A. It gives Bardock everything he ever wants in assists for combos. I think it's really broken. I think it's one of the best assists in the game. It's 80 frames with hit stun. 84, my apologies. It's variable. The higher up they are, the ground bounce can add extra frames because when you're ground bouncing, you can't tech in this game, which people don't know. You can't tech during the ground bounce frames, which will always add extra frames to your hit stun if moves ground bounce or wall bounce.
That's sick.
But his B assist, I'm starting to get used to it because I play Team Gohan, which I like Mix a lot. The thing about his B assist is that it's L slash, right? So it's not M slash or H slash, which move forward. It's stationary L slash, which means about, I say here, I'm at the max range. it's not actually that gigantic as people assume. Like it hits there, it whiffs here. But if I move here, actually, like here, it makes contact. It has almost beam assist block stun, so it's really, really good. But the biggest part of it is probably this. It's key immune.
That's kind of wild.
This also means I'm key immune while inside of his assist. So I've been trying to use that because it means that I get a lot of these situations. Oh shit. And I get it full confirmed because they can't key blast. So I have to play a lot closer, but when I'm in this range, I can key blast, but they can't. And the assist has so much hit stun. Like for a fast assist like that, yeah, like confirming off of it is almost brain dead. You just dash up and button like this. And for characters like base Goku, it fixes like this issue where he gets the multi-key blast and I just do that. And I get sliding no matter what.
Okay, well, it makes sense why you're playing it on this team then. That's definitely something I was curious about.
Yeah, but I will play A-assist sometimes. Like, if we were in pools, I'd play A-assist. Not because it makes the team better, but because it's better against unknowing players, if that makes sense.
Right. It's a great one for catching people off guard.
Yeah, for people who don't know how to fight me or who haven't fought me before, right? You challenged it, right? -5, you press the button there. Punish.
Yep.
But if you don't press a button and it's -5 because you're expecting Janemba, I take my turn right back. Which means I'm staggering. At this point, you have to make a decision at -5, which is really good because if you don't make a decision, right, like this. But there is another hidden thing about Janemba A that most people don't know about key blast assist. So, we all understand the basic like pressure concept where like super dash and assist mix, right?
Right.
You see how Gohan has like the super long cooldown, stuff like that.
Right.
So, where assist lockout is really dumb in this game. So, like this, like we're staying in lockout, right? No matter what. So look at this exact same pressure, but this time she's gonna be set to guard, cancel, reflect, and we'll do the exact same thing. Gohan starts coming back the moment you reflect. So if you hold Janemba as a real block stun, I don't get my assist back, but I'm mixing with a key blast assist. If you reflect it, I get my mix assist back.
So that lets you just kind of keep some continuous pressure going there then.
Essentially. And because base Goku's a command grab character, you can't just hold his pressure. So it's like, okay, you can keep blocking, scooped. And you know how that goes.
Right.
So A assist completes the team, B assist completes the team. It's just different approaches to how I want this team to work.
Let's talk about his team position. So you said you kind of alternate him between mid and anchor. Where do you think he fits best in general? Like outside of your team, but just like for anyone who's looking to pick him up, where should they stick him?
If this was season 3 or season 2, I'd say anchor. But because of the shift in the meta and pretty much Janemba's access to way higher damage now, you can run a mid, and if you have an assist that lets Janemba get 50-50s, my team doesn't give him true 50-50 mid screen. He does get this 50-50. Not that one. Which is high, low, low, but that's in the corner only. So it's like that. Low. Low. So in the corner I get it, but mid screen, if your assist gives it mix, you should run Janemba mid almost every time. But if you just throw him on a team and you're not building for him, he's an anchor. He's actually pretty good at an anchor. Not the best, but he's in the upper half. Probably like still a upper high tier anchor. Especially a move like that, which is plus 20, plus 33, almost unreactable. Wow. There we go.
That's he does need a lot of meter to like get the most out of him, right? I feel like a lot of his EX stuff is the stuff you want to be using in a neutral situation.
Okay, so that's why I say mid or anchor, because he has a bunch of meter. You know, anchor characters this season always have like 10 meter for some reason.
Right.
But Janemba is fine without meter now. He needs half a bar. I think at half a bar he's fine because he gets this move, which is what we want. Like even without limit break, I break 3K. With limit break, I get I missed, but with free jump you get 5K off of 1.5 bars and a command grab. And in the same vein, this command throw into that goes like 3K, 3.2, and all his command grabs reach from about here. So he has one of the biggest command grabs in the game. Like so. I can even reach from here, I'm pretty sure. No, right here. Yeah, max range of 5H is the same as command throw. So, yeah.
It's a good little trick to know.
And in the corner, if you get thrown, you're losing health. Low. And this is from command throw and limit break, no spark.
Yeah, that's what you like to see.
Yeah, if you get thrown twice, you die. And that's starting from 1.5 bars. So with 3 bars, with Janemba, it's actually better to just do the EX throw twice. Because they die if you hit them twice. You get Oki off of level 1. I missed, but you get that, and then you do it again. And they die. Yeah, and then like Brawly, this does a lot of damage. Command throw on the level 1. That is 47. Yeah, and then limit break, spark, it does 5K, I think. Yeah, so he has the Brawly, which, you know, everybody said Brawly is broken for this.
Right.
But he can do this and limit break plus spark. 50-50 here. Stay same side, command throw, do it again, and they die.
That's busted. Oh my gosh. Why do we not see this more at like a high level? I've literally never seen anyone do that.
He's one of the harder characters, so it makes sense.
I'm just gonna process that for a second. That's nuts.
Yeah, as an anchor mix-wise, you know, the rule of thumb is if you don't have a command throw, you can't mix. Janemba doesn't have an unreactable. Its fastest is 24. Oh, 25, I guess. Yeah. Same with this one. So you only use an L or H throw, but what he does have that a lot of the characters don't is a point-blank cross-up on all characters. Even better because a lot of characters have point-blank cross-up now. If you don't block it, unlike most, he just confirms. So full meterless combo on a near unreactable point-blank cross-up. You can press 2M, but I'm bad at that time. He gets a lot of damage. And this is from a point-blank cross-up.
And that was a light starter, right?
Yeah, into teleport, guess for game, you guessed wrong, little dead character.
Dude, that's nuts.
He can milk it for more, but that's like the easy go-to 2-touch I do in limit break.
What do you think is like something that Janemba mains don't abuse enough in neutral that they should be using more? What's like a neutral thing that you do when you're like really trying to open someone up, like make a power move? What's like all reliable for you that's gonna get it done?
Okay. So couple things. So basic, like at the top level, right? The rule of thumb is don't shoot a key blast until they double jump. Or that's the best time. Because if you shoot it here, you know, they can jump over, or they could like, they could jump, whoa, and then get over and kill you or something like that. Like I was plus 86, like she can die, right?
Right.
So most people don't shoot a key blast until you double jump. And so you can block it, because you can't super dash, yada yada, right? Like they have a set point. However, with Janemba, double jump, JS, it keeps him stuck in the air, so it removes the hole. I'm gonna snipe him out the air, and it beats other key blasts. So if you do this, even if he gets hit, it comes out like this. And you can confirm. On the topic of key blast, Janemba can hit confirm his key blast. So every character in the game can't do this, but him. So on guard first, right? Janemba's key blast, like the slowest you do it, isn't a true block string like this. It's not one string. Every other character can't delay their key blast enough to make it like not one string. Like so. If you couple all that together, Janemba has things like this, where he gets the full confirm. Or even better, he can do things like this and get in pretty easily. So I just don't see many Janembas using EX Orb to get in and give him pressure. Because if you get it out and they block, I mean, if you get them to block it, you can set up your own mix a lot of times. But yeah, EX Orb.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was a misinput on the special, but this is what I'm trying to do. You get EX Orb, and then you teleport and you get mix if they block the orb, which is a solo ideal that a lot of us have been trying to implement. But I really don't see Janemba players like 5S, 6S a lot. EX Slash, of course, this move, TK Slash is insane.
Why TK over grounded?
Well, you should use grounded too, right? But TK Slash is only -3. So I can backdash, I'm even safer. It's only 1 frame slower or 2 frames slower, my fault, at the exact same ranges. Because the slash itself in the air is faster. So Janemba just it's 15 frames in the air, 17 frames on the ground, or 16 frames. And his confirm off the EX Slash hurts. So yeah, he gets the same, his BNB confirm, which by this point is either auto combo or a and this is unoptimal, but you get 7k from EX Slash into the whole. After the Oki, you're supposed to do moon jump, so like so. Moon jump JM into land, into low, they block, take them out the game. Because that does enough damage to kill most of the time. So that's like the flow chart. Just the second hit, you want to do like 7k off of the first one, which I can show the 2-touch correctly real quick. This is what I get for not laughing. There we go. And then after this, it's 1-touch situation, and if he has this much bar, he just does this. And they die.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was the actual 2-touch. It works off an M slash too, but you have to be closer to the corner for the neutral confirm. It works off an L slash plus assist, etc., etc. So once you're below 3k, Janemba should always be going for either this. It's like, wait, shit. So I started like this, which takes some time. He has this cross up too now, which gets a full confirm, cross up JM, and this does mad damage. Off of cross up JM, Janemba gets like this. Or, like, even that was doing 3k in limit break. This character's like damage cracks out for some reason in limit break. There we go. And y'all know what this number means. Once they're this high, teleport, command throw, they die.
That is a pretty straightforward game plan there, as long as you can land that that first combo.
Yeah, as long as pretty much the goal should be on the first hit, always going to level 3, so that the second hit, no matter what they get hit by, even if he doesn't spend that much meter, they're gonna die. Because that was 3.2 with L throw. You know, L into level 1, that's 3.2.
Right.
I showed earlier that EX throw, like if you do the loops, the new stuff from season 3, instead of 3K, he gets 5K. And then add this on. So this is a little different. You have to do that, and then they die.
Lord.
So two EX throws, they die. Okay.
We talked the cross-up stuff. I guess let's go pressure. I feel like we've touched on mix-up a good bit. So what are some pressure tips you would have for anyone looking to pick up Janemba, or anyone who's like, you know, been playing him and you don't think that you see enough people taking advantage of this stuff?
Okay. His lights are insane for like they're -3. 7 frame 2L that reaches this far, -3.
That's pretty wild.
It's one of the biggest 2Ls, rivaling like the only one's bigger is like 16. Like it reaches from here, right? It true strings into a low, all of his lights. His auto combo is -8, but because of the pushback, a lot of characters are scared to challenge. From here, no character can press a button. Like no character can press a button at all, but this reaches. That's an example of like how it is. It also true strings. His 2M is punishable, which Janemba players and Janemba opponents don't understand. But his 5M is safe, which makes this happen a lot. You just get looped. And then you die because he goes low. For mix or pressure, you know, you want to lead into the command throw. You got to make them worry about it a lot. In the corner, so I've been using, it's a little experimental, but I've been trying to go for something like this. Right, we get that set up. And then once you have the orb set, you get things like this. It's a little harder. Oops, if I could not throw out that. Right, if you delay that a little more, it won't be same side. There we go. You get staggers, and you get mixed solo, essentially.
There's no way in hell I would ever block that. That's a lot happening at once with the orb and the teleport.
He also gets true string low. If you see, I can set him to guard first, and the low was still true. Low, I forgot. The low can true, but it won't. It will not today.
Probably some pretty precise timing there.
Yeah, the high does. So it's mixed with air quotes because the high is true, like you can see. Land to him can true string with like God timing, which I am not going to hit today. And both of which, because the orb's on screen, if you get hit by it, he gets mad damage. So it's mixed setup, and it's also, if I do this, right, super dash plus assist, his is a little unconventional, but he still gets stuff.
Yeah, that teleport opens up a lot of opportunities.
So you can do super dash plus assist into high, but in most cases you shouldn't do super dash. You should just do a IED, because this IED is insane. He has a built-in unreactable 50/50 on his jump-ins. It does. Okay, so I don't know if people talk about this. His JH is broken. I think this move is actually broken. And without assist, it's unreactable 50/50. It's like his go-to if he doesn't have assist. And like you can't react to that. The H itself is 16 frames, but there's no animation. It breaks fuzzy timing from land to him. So like this. That's a true string. I delayed the JH as much as I want, and it like that. I can hit it on 22, which is way after I hit the ground.
Yeah, I don't think ever seen anyone use the JH like that at all.
Yeah, and because we was talking about assist recharge and how it's really dumb in this game. Both assists spent, assist recharge instantly resets when you get hit by JH.
No matter what?
No matter what.
That's kind of wild.
Every time. So he always gets assists back on the next stagger. Essentially, against top players, his JH is like chip damage. Or unseeable lows in Tekken, if you know about that. Where it's like, you're not expected to be able to block it, but the reward is so low, people think it doesn't count. But for unseeable lows, in last hit situations, they're broken. For Janemba's JH, if the opponent's health is like this, let's say last hit, what do they do when I jump in? They have to guess. Everything becomes a guess, which means his block strings changes to something like this, because they die if they guess wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's super strong.
Yeah. So he's like one of the best like cleanup characters. If they're on like something dumb like this, like everybody's on last hit. Nice. Go ahead, block. Oh, oops. Oop. So I went mid there, but like that caught jump. I could do that, they die. I could do this, they die. I could do this, double overhead, they died from the mix-up, etc, etc. On last hit, he's like unfair. Against mid bodies and up, he can do something dumb like this, which is unseeable cross up into double overhead, point blank cross up.
Good lord.
Yeah, so his JH is insane, and it's not used nearly enough by Janemba players.
I think people look at it as too much of a combo tool, and you're kind of looking at it a different way.
Yeah, it's cool for combos, but being able to just any character, just you end them because of that. It's also why he has some gimmicky stuff, which, I mean, gimmicks are a part of the game, right?
Right, for sure.
So this is non-Spark. In Spark, it's real, but without Spark, all his key blasts pull out the corner if you do 6S. So something like this actually just hits same side, right? But this hits cross up.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah. So if he wants, he can do that and keep you whichever side that was, or he can do like and cross up. He can also do like that. This demands respect because if they reflect, they no longer suffer pushback. But these two usually takes them out the corner instantly. So something like this, standing character. Taller character because doy. So let's say crouch guard, right? If they block this assist standing, the UI, the basic assist like this, you can start doing the mix up, the corner cross up, etc, etc. So it's in that situation, it's real because he just pulls you out. You can't reflect the first key blast, so he's actually just mixing you. And yeah, that's the more gimmicky stuff. If you want, I can show you how it works in Sparking, which is just real mix.
Yeah, go for it. That's
cool.
That's a brutal gimmick. I mean, that's not something you can just adjust to necessarily. Like, it's a lot to keep track of depending on how many key blasts you throw.
In Sparking, everything changes. So let me set it to infinite Sparking just to show. Like, I think this is why I say he's a viable anchor. So we can go back to the limit break thing. The damage doesn't really matter, but just to show without assist. So in Spark, crossed up.
I didn't even see how that happened. Can you do that again?
Anytime. You just do that.
IAD over?
Yeah. It pulls him out the corner. You jump cancel it, you get the cross up.
That is brutal.
And that's one key blast. Everything changes because you can do that. You can do this. Like you can 7 dash, and if you do that, you actually stay same side. And on super jump IAD, not regular IAD, which gives him a lot of things. He can also, it lets him do this to fake cross up. So like pull him out, air dash into the corner like that, and you get fake cross up. You can also do like that,
Dude.
So every Ki blast becomes mixed.
I would need a CAT scan after dealing with this mix.
Yeah. So you do like this, and you know if the opponent knows, oh whoa, you're gonna cross up, right? You do this into that, and they die because they try to respect it.
And they die.
Yeah. He does something like this, like that.
You have to manually detonate the orb, right?
Yep. A little unoptimal, but I can add to 700 if I optimized. But essentially, TOD starter, right? 9K, because you guessed wrong on the cross up. The cross up in itself is unreactable. It's no delay on the buttons for any character that's standing, and even on crouchers, like they're not blocking this.
No, I mean I wouldn't expect it in the first place, and then once you do it once, now I'm like looking for a 4-way. Like that's
Yeah, and with the new mix, right? So let's say every time you hear Ki blast, you block cross up, right? What if I do this? Just 5S. And earlier I talked about Janemba can delay his Ki blast unlike any other character in the game, so I can do this. Like this. Wait, shit. Like that, and just delay him. And if you guard all, let's say you block them all, because you will, I get the corner. But that time I didn't, because you have to keep track of which Ki blast I'm doing now. So I get to pick. And let's say you're trying to react, I get command throw again. So command throw becomes mix. So every block Ki blast from Janemba is mix now. Janemba's also the only. Oh, sorry, what?
No, you're good. I was gonna say I can feel my eyes going opposite directions trying to follow all these Ki blasts.
Yeah, he's also the only character in the game that can do SHS.
Is that a true strength?
No, there's 1 frame gaps between all of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the 1 frame gap doesn't really matter for him because if you try to jump it, you know, this essentially will, like, you still have to block this cross up even if you jump, because he gets to the other side before you can jump. Like, we do the numbers, I'm plus 11.
Dude.
So I can't hit jump startup, right? But I can definitely like hit you cross up before you can get up, like so.
So we're essentially looking at a super strong stagger game with a command grab to back it up and some wild mix off of a Ki blast.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's such a strong hit, dude. I wish people played this character more. But yeah, I can see why, like, he's considered difficult. Obviously, that's a lot to know, too. Like, to be able to, like, think so broadly in a match is difficult, you know, compared to some of the more streamlined characters. But, like, this stuff is wild.
Oh, yeah, he has this, too. I forgot to show that. 2S gives airborne state. So that. So let's say you're really looking for the Ki blast. He gets this, which stays same side. Like, this is technically the cross-up Ki blast, right? Because you see it, but when I air dash, I stay same side. So yeah, he can fake the mix anyway, like that. That's the new stuff I'm trying. It's 6S into air dash H, because it fakes the cross-up a lot. You can't even tell what side I'm on at that point, and that crosses up.
So that 5H was a cross-up?
Yep.
Oh, no.
That's a cross-up. So on last year's situation, I've never seen somebody block this.
No.
I've been saving it for like tournaments, but I've known about this for a couple days now. Just instant cross-up on all crouchers.
Yeah, I've gotten hit every single thing you've shown. There's not a single thing that I've not gotten hit by here.
You can also do this for fake DR. So yeah, all of his Ki blasts become mixed because he can do an airborne state, which means DR. And once he's in the airborne state, it's just party time.
That's crazy.
Like, that's, if I'm on point, this is essentially how Janemba should look. And then you block all that, right? Let's say by God's name you blocked all that, or you risk the super dash. I get that. And we go back into the 2-touch situation we were just speaking about.
Dude. Alright, so Janemba, you do not want to block this guy, because good lord. Basically. I think that's a fair summary, right?
Once he's in sparking, So like he has the Trunks effect, but it works better, right? Because Trunks, he can only do off auto combo, etc., right? In the corner. Janemba, all of that mix I showed works mid screen, but it changes up because now the key blast is the cross up and the pullback is used for same side.
Ooh. That is a lot to keep in mind.
Yeah, you have to know this character essentially if to block like an on-point Janemba player, which I still feel like a lot of my Janemba ideals I'm stuck in the lab with because I can't push it till I do it in game. But essentially, Janemba is like busted when done right. That as a cross-up is insane to me.
It does seem like the execution ceiling is pretty high on him. Like you can get a lot of wild stuff, but definitely like tough to pull out in game if you're not like predetermined. Although I feel like, you know, if someone really put the time in, like this is totally like manageable if you can think clearly enough to know when to do what.
I feel like I'm pretty close to that now. Alucard isn't playing him as actively, so I guess I'm the closest Janemba to like breaking that thought mold, if that makes sense. But we'd even talk about like his best tools, which is teleport and neutral or like 2-2s. You need your brain on 24/7 to use 2-2s, but like on paper that means no assist ever works, right? Because things like this that people do a lot, super dash plus assist, that's not a true string with a lot of assists, so Janemba gets out of that. But your brain has to be on because you have to know to reflect it, and you kind of have to be preemptive.
Right.
But Janemba is just the high. He's not the highest. Okay. Execution wise, right? I think he's about upper half for difficulty, right? But skill ceiling wise, I think he's one of the hardest characters in the game. Like top 3, possibly. I think he's harder than a lot of these characters. But it just, yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, you know, I think I've done like 10 of these episodes now, and like few of them have made my head hurt the way that you are currently making my head hurt. And I mean that as a compliment. Like this is a lot of crazy stuff. That is a lot, and I'm really stoked about it because I thought that the next question was going to be the big one, but I feel like that might actually end up being the big one. But so that's all pressure mix-up when they're blocking you. You got him playing your game. What happens on knockdown? How is his Oki? I know the orb is a strong Oki tool. Is that like your go-to? What's the move?
I am not under the impression that orb's an Oki tool. I'm gonna give away some Janemba tech here. So let's just do a basic knockdown, right? DR knockdown, or right? Everybody does that,
right?
I don't know if y'all saw that, but that orb didn't hit up tech. Orb doesn't reach up tech. I'll detonate here. It doesn't reach, right? So you up tech. Okay, so cool. I caught it. I could have detonated it later, but you get the point. I can catch up tech now. All right, like this. Even then, it's harder because they nerfed it, or they nerfed the Oki because it bounces off the wall now. It doesn't stay in one spot. So it's almost impossible to like cover all techs now with orb. I can do it with L orb. Even then, that's almost impossible. So orb Oki is fake.
Okay.
They have to guess which tech you're doing, etc., etc. But that doesn't matter because his JM is insane. Like the range on it vertically, that's hitting right there. That JM just hit frame 14. So it's active 11 to 15, which is 5 active frames, which, you know, crazy for a JM, right? This means on knockdown in the corner, just do your thing. Like, whatever, any knockdown, you can do J2M. That catches up tech. That's gonna catch. Janemba can hit confirm his JM, like we spoke about. Oops, I took him out the corner. Lol. He can hit confirm it with dash JL. But even better, if you do 2H routes, you get JH sliding. you can just backdash OS, which you should probably be doing with this character, because he has Piccolo's JL. If you see that now, it's hitting on frame 9, so it has 3 active frames. And the range is insane. I can probably JL her from here. Here. Yeah.
Right in the noggin.
Yeah, about the same range, a little bit shorter than Piccolo's. But Piccolo's is straight horizontal. Janemba points his down, so it actually hits lower than Piccolo's. That's mid. That's corner. Corner is self-explanatory. Most people don't complain about Janemba's corner Oki, because you can just, if you really care, like you can do things like that, which gives you DR knockdown. Mid screen. So a lot of Janemba players really just purposely, I guess, gets him no Oki by doing things like this. Like, Janemba has set frame advantage. I'm only plus 32 and we're full screen. There's no way I can get Oki, right? And then people say Janemba has no Oki, yada yada. All you have to do is this. Oh, sure. You just don't J2H and they're close. You can chase now.
Okay.
And it solves the mid-screen Oki problem. But realistically speaking, every hit with Janemba, you should always confirm into EX Orb. Right? And his EX Orb routes actually do insane damage. So much so, like we've seen it a couple times, but if you really cared that much about sliding, from that spot right there, Janemba can do this. Low, no H button. And he gets sliding.
Oh, that was clean, and you're close enough to get decent Oki off that.
Yeah, you lose damage, but you still do mad damage. If you do this route, it half screen corner carries, so like that was 6.6k. And even from here, he gets that.
Nice little side switch there.
And that does 6.6 too, so he loses no damage. So if both combos have half screen corner carry and they're both half a bar start and they end with 1 bar, there's no reason you shouldn't do EX Orb routes if you really cared about sliding that much. He also used to have routes like this, but because of EX Orb buffs, EX Slash is kind of not like that useful for combos anymore, because like I'm doing a lot of damage, but I'm in meter decay. Janemba's EX Orb doesn't put him in meter decay for some reason.
Not at all?
Nope. Look. Wait, it's about to break.
What?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Which means
I didn't notice that. You've been doing combos like with that the whole time, and I have not even noticed it at all.
He gets this much if you optimize and do the JM beforehand. I kind of wuss out a lot of BNBs, but realistically, Janemba should be doing like 7k. 6.7, a little bit more if I optimize, but yeah.
That's nuts. So be smart about finishing your combos for mid-screen, because the J2H will push them away, and if you just take that out, you get a close setup and decent Oki.
Yep, meterless.
And jump medium is your go-to setup, just the normal like safe jump option select.
The exact positions you would use JH, just use Janemba's JM. It works. It has more horizontal range than most JHs.
Cool. I like that. That's nothing too crazy, which is a stark contrast to the mix-up section.
Yeah, Oki's pretty simple. He has this as well if you do end up having to use J2H, because some combos, JM stops comboing into JS because of his stun.
Right.
So maybe you'll have to do something like this. And in a situation like this, I'll do this.
Ooh.
And we can show from here, so I can show how it looks more full screen. You get a combo still if they get hit. You just go into EX Slash, you can get a full confirm. So it forces them back to the ground, which is all that really matters. As long as Janemba has control, it doesn't matter. And they get 2-touched if they get hit.
Dude, the 2-touch potential on this character is just absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Alright, so we've seen like hefty amounts of offensive prowess for Janemba. What about when the shoe's on the other foot? How does he do in defense? Does he have any tools that are like good for helping him get out of pressure? Does he have a good button to mash?
Oh yeah.
What do you do when you're stuck in block and you're over it? What's your go-to?
Okay, so first and foremost, I'll show this. Hopefully I timed it right. Frame 4 teleport.
That's frame 4?
Yeah, you can't take your +2 against him, no matter what character. Which also means the devil can't do it either. +2 doesn't work against Janemba. This also means that this move doesn't do nothing. Alright, look at this.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
do you have a, does that work for all directions of the teleport?
No. You have to know the specific direction for certain characters based on their auto combos. Usually you want to teleport behind them. It solves most of the problem like that. But say Team Gohan, who's, you know, a missile, you usually want to teleport in place or probably behind them, like directly behind for Team Gohan. You just have to know that type of thing. But with UI, you get smoked, as you can see.
Were you doing the 9 to get out of there?
To get out of where? Yeah, I was doing 9. You get straight out. You even get the punish if they mash.
That's actually wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, Nitro does this to try and bait it. It's a little OS he does, but it's very, very, very dangerous. So let me show. The only way to directly punish Janemba's teleport, right, is super dash. You have to super dash on your own +2 if you want to like figure out where he's gonna go, because it tracks it, right?
Right.
But you're super dashing at +2, which means even though he's minus, Janemba gets to do this, and you die. So the OS Nitro created, credits to him, is this right here. He does that. This OS right here, it shouldn't give to him. Oops. I'll do that. Essentially on block, it was supposed to give like 2L5M, but on hit, it gives super dash. Or reverse that. On whiff, it gives super dash, right?
Right.
That just forces Janemba to block. You really need something like that to even take your turn at +2 versus him, because it's not possible, right? The issue, it gets punished if you do the universal after +2, which is backdash. You get the punished OS. So it caused like players like Nitro to stop doing it because you just die. This also means I can do this and kill him. So information. So that's what Janemba gets to do at anything less than or equal to +2. Janemba always has access to this. In the +3 ranges, he's like every other character. He doesn't really get to do too much. He has to kind of block. So in the +2, +3 situation, he doesn't do +3 situation up. He doesn't have much more than normal characters because he doesn't have frame 3 options. But what he does have is a pretty good 2L. I tell everybody, Janemba's a 7 frame character. Even though he has a 6 frame 5L, it doesn't have that much range. It's not that much range. It's really safe on block, has a lot of active frames, but it isn't that big of a range. But his 2L, if you match that, that's gonna work. His 2L hits 6M a lot of the time. So like, for a lot of characters, not him because medium block's done, lol. But for him, you're still gonna hit by that beefy 2L.
That's really solid.
Yeah, he can hit confirm it like that, and it just works. 2L5M just combos for some reason, which means he can do this. Low. I'm getting kid boot.
That privilege.
Yeah, he's going under it, which is kind of funny. And you know, into the no meter decay route, and you know what this means afterwards. 2-touch.
Man.
So mash 2L5M. The good thing is because it's 2L, nothing comes out on whiff. You don't even get the double 2L. You just get no recovery. But on hit, you get that. Also, because it's 2L5M, it's a safe on block. There is a gap, but it's safe on block as a string, and it's spaced so it loops into itself. So if you mashed out, you're fine. You can just backdash. 205 him you can't stop the backdash afterwards. If we go further on defense, right? This I gotta bring back in my team to show this real quick because it's not just a Janemba thing. It's a Janemba with assisting. I did this against you. Let's look at this.
Oh, you did do that against me.
That's minus 25, right? But unless you're Kid Buu 21 or a character with like an invincible 2M, which is the Buus, not Fat Buu, right?
Like the
I can do this
ones, right?
Yeah, I can do this. There's no punish because of the beam is right there, and Janemba recovers considerably faster than every other character in the game but Yamcha after level 1. So you see minus 25, that's a pretty bad number, right? But if we do this, same situation. I'll summon the guard first. I'm plus.
Why?
This is plus on block DHC. To show the actual numbers, it's that's punishable because he got fucking pushed out. But if you just block it like this, +6.
You gotta spend a lot of meter to get there, though. But
It's only 3 bars. I mean, people do raw level 3s, right? People don't say that's a huge meter to commitment. So
that's a fair point.
Yeah, it's the same as a raw level 3, but this time I'm plus on block if you block it. And Janemba is completely safe. You can't shoot any supers. Just to show like what happens if I miss. Completely invincible. Janemba is 100% safe.
Against a beam super with the beams clash?
Yep, Basiku's level 2 counts as a level 3, so it clashes with all level 3s.
Oh, okay.
Completely safe. The only counter that's known, like just flat out the box, is a Nitro counter. I fight him a lot, so he kind of labbed it out. If I do this, not that. You can do 2 and 4. She can teleport behind him and punish both and get a happy birthday.
Oh, okay. But that's pretty character specific. So
hyper character specific, yeah. So Janemba, you can always just rotate into him. I like to, if somebody double jumps, once they use their double jump, like from full screen, just do it. There's nothing they can do. They can't vanish. They can't super dash. I get mixed. Even if full screen, like they double jump, I just throw it. And they can't vanish. If you vanish, double jump. Hopefully I do this right. It's a little hard to time with computers.
Right.
But essentially, that. Janemba steps forward. So it's a completely safe DHC. So, yeah, one of the only in the game.
Do you use that more to set up the plus frames to yourself, or is it like more commonly used to get like a bleeding base Goku out so he can recover the blue health, or is it kind of 50-50?
Oh, it's definitely for bleeding base Goku. I wouldn't use it that much for the plus frames because I mean it doesn't matter too much for me. But in like let's say a situation like this where Gohan's dead, base Goku's here, they're blocking. This is like not hyper specific, but it's something to note. I can do this. You know, just get him out.
Right.
Janemba's level 1 itself isn't that punishable for a level 1. It's only minus 18. And this one's safe. That concept I just said where I wait till they double jump and I throw the super.
Time to finish this.
He's not minus anymore. I'm plus 6 if you block it in the air.
That's nutty.
Which means, and this is where things get really nutty, so Janemba's defense is other characters' defense, as I was trying to speak about. So if you look here, people will try to stagger me, right? And you know how you can just feel the DP coming?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter for my team. If you feel the DP coming, and I do this, and you don't get pushed back, like you're not one of the thinner characters and you have to block all that, like UI because even though it's minus, like it's super minus, right? But I'm still inside of that the super, so you can't punish it. You can't press the button to punish. And if you saw a UI, that was only minus 13. No 13 frame move can reach that far, so I get to block. So I just mash DP. Like I can just do it, and there's no punish at all. An insane thing that only it's only for Janemba, right?
Right.
Let me set it to reflect for S. Oh, that's not S. 4S. Okay, so only Janemba, only super I can think of that's a level 1 that does this. He gets pushed back when you block it, which means because he's not grounded during his level 1, this happens if you reflect it. Thanks.
Dude, that's
I'm even safer.
That's pretty wild.
You have to reflect. Like, okay, everybody reflects the super here because that's the correct thing to do against every other character in the game. Against me, nah, you just made me safe. Unpunishable. There's no move in the game that can reach right here in 11 frames.
So say someone comes to you and says, Shaud, man, I'm thinking about picking up Janemba. I'm kind of on the fence. Why should I play this character? What are you telling them? How are you selling people on Janemba? Why should someone pick him up?
He doesn't have to block. It's fun to not block, and it's really fun to not have to deal with beam assist. Janemba does get smoked by certain playstyles, but he's one of the only characters that just beam assist don't matter to him. And for the basic player, beam assist is like the bane of our existence, right?
Yep.
So not having to deal with that, yeah, it's worth it in a lot of cases.
I would love to not deal with BMC.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So the long and short of it is you get to play Dragon Ball FighterZ instead of Dragon Ball blockers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always, you can always do something. That's actually the best way to sell Janemba. Like, there's always something you could have done. Like, damn, I'm like every other character in the game, I gotta hold that.